Well, what do you know? I recently came across a term I hadn't heard before. That term is belief perseverance. Belief perseverance, or BP for short, is the phenomenon characterized by persistent faith in a set of ideas even when confronted by overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Join me as we take a look at this fascinating subject. Hello, everybody, and everybody else. My name is ScrypKat, and this is ScrypKat Says. According to Psychology Research and Reference, link in the description, such BP can be found in debates regarding the death penalty, abortion, or evolution, for example. However, less weighty topics can also be stubbornly held by individuals even when faced with evidence they can experience with their own senses. As with other psychological phenomena, the ideas one holds aren't usually a problem until they start interfering with relationships, work, or finances.
And there he goes. Car number 735.
That wasn't the same one, I don't think.
Yes, it was. Bam, and there he goes again, waving 735. This is just a little weird, guys, that every time we go out, we are literally gang stalked by these cops, as you will see. He's went by me 3 times within, what, 10 minutes, Sam?
Yeah.
3 times within 10 minutes.
Like 5 minutes.
Or more like 5 minutes. This is getting to be ridiculous, guys. They realize that considering a cop may be going down and losing everything. Here he comes again. Considering he may be losing everything he has. No, it's not him. Yep, there he is. There he goes. No, that's 722. That was a different one, 722. So they're switching up now because they realize I'm on to them. The f***, guys. This is crazy. Here he comes. Here comes another one, guys. Look. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Never mind. I hate these f***ing cars that look like cops.
This is Jeremiah Payne, aka Auditing America Last Days of Freedom. Sadly, he, his wife, and 5-year-old daughter are presently on the razor's edge of being homeless due to Payne's First Amendment auditing activities over the last couple of years. He has no driver's license, no permanent home, no car, no job, and an extensive criminal history. He begs for money from his followers to pay for the hotels they live in.
I don't know, man. We go in the store, buy drinks, and I guess technically because we're labeled as the homeless people in this town, which we're not homeless, but we're labeled that in this town, they automatically assume we're stealing shit. I mean, you're more than welcome to search our shit. We just left the Dollar Tree. We had stuff from there, but nothing from there other than drinks.
Literally, we walked down 2 hours. I mean, we got drinks and checked out.
And the woman standing right there kept standing there at the thing going, looking like, if you want to search it, go for it, you know? We didn't take none from your damn store. And that's it, as far as I know. During a trespass, you don't have to give your ID. Only if I come back, then you get ID. I know how trespasses work. Been doing this 7 years. I know what I'm doing.
If we don't want to identify ourselves, we'll do it. John Doe. They have him in the camera. So.
Trust me, I'm not coming back. I'm filing a lawsuit against them. Because they're discriminating against us because we're technically the homeless people in this town. So we must have stole something in their piece of shit store.
There are 3 types of BP. The first one involves what you believe about yourself. I'm reminded of the sad cases of Karen Carpenter and Andy Gibb, who starved themselves to death because they truly believed they were overweight. When they looked in the mirror, they saw a fat person, while everyone else saw them wasting away to nothing. The second involves what you believe about specific people in your life, family members, longtime friends or colleagues, or people you've just met. For example, if Sally tells you that Bill is a bold-faced liar before you even meet Bill, it may cause you to treat him as though he is a liar, even after you find out that Sally was talking about a different bill altogether. The third is called naive theories or beliefs. These involve abstract concepts about groups of people. The best example of this is stereotypes one might hold about people from other countries, other races, even other occupations. This is what we see in the folks we follow. The irrational idea that all police officers are corrupt, that all government officials are incompetent, that all judges are out to put people in jail for no reason. Johnny O from the Plot Hole, shout out to the Plot Hole, showcased a video which proved to be an excellent example of BP. Two frauditors attempt to audit a Social Security Administration office. They had their own copy of what they believed to be the law. However, even when confronted by an official from the SSA who offered them the actual law being enforced in that office, they refused to be dissuaded. They ended up being banned from every SSA office in the United States and racked up federal charges. I'd love to see those cases in court.
Yeah. You know, not saying you are, but bad guy gets a hold of a recording of the entire inside of our police department, you know, security issue.
So is it, yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, public lobbies, outside, all good, just not the secure inside.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
So, I mean, you're standing here, it seems, I'd seem like a missed opportunity if I didn't talk to you while you were standing here. I'm not real, I don't know exactly what I said in that email, but I know that this was the gist. You know, can someone be trespassed from public property without breaking the law?
My understanding is for the Social Security offices, the answer to that question is yes. Public property, like a roadway, a sidewalk, stuff like that, I would say no.
So what's different about Social Security?
So I would say that there is I don't know if you want to call it a controlling entity over the Social Security office. So like it's not just is
the general public allowed in that lobby?
Yes.
So I guess and we talked about the memo quite extensively.
Right.
You know, I mentioned poster 7 and you wanted to refocus, which, you know, I understand. But the rules were clearly written on the wall. I actually brought the rules with me. It's 41 CFR, and here's the rules. And there it is, photographs for news, advertising, or commercial purposes, and that's the CFR. And it says, except where rules and regulations, orders, or directives apply on federal property.
I'll tell you what, this guy should be able to answer any questions you got.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Good. Nice seeing you again.
Good to see you, Mr. Mohammed, correct?
Correct. Fariz Mohammed.
Yeah.
And this is Special
Hi, my
Agent.
name's Casey.
Hey,
I'm with the
Casey.
Social Security
Yeah,
Administration.
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, so today's real simple. I'm just here to issue you some United States District Court violations. It's going to be for DeLand, Kissimmee, and Orlando SSAs. Okay. So the first one is going to, and it's going to be 2 citations times the 3 locations.
Okay.
Right? So the first one is going to be unauthorized taking of photos on premises without permit or agency permission.
So why is it that I can't speak with a supervisor? I've tried multiple times to speak with a supervisor
Well,
to
let's get
resolve
through this, and
this.
then we'll clear that up.
Okay.
The second one is going to be unauthorized taking of photos on premises without permit or agency. I think that's the same one, huh? Okay, failure to comply with directions of other authorized individual and signs of prohibitory or regulatory nature.
Okay.
All 6 of these citations are going to be mandatory court appearances. So you'll get it notified by mail, or you can communicate with the court for a court date. They'll issue a court date, and then you'll go before a judge and explain to the judge everything you wanted to explain to me. Okay.
So you're not interested in hearing?
I'm sorry?
You're not interested in hearing?
At this point, it wouldn't make any difference.
And you
I hate
work
to
for
waste.
Social
I work for
Security?
Social Security, Office of the
Okay.
Inspector General.
All right, so can I ask some questions? I realize you're getting a ticket.
Let's do this, and then we can.
Do I have to sign? Am I compelled by law to sign?
It's not an admission of guilt, but it's just.
Am I compelled by law to sign?
If you don't want to sign, it's fine. I
I'm
can
not
be
gonna
refused to sign.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not compelled by law to sign, I'm not going to sign.
Okay. Okay. So just make sure you stay on top of it. For any event that you don't respond or don't show up, they will issue a bench warrant for your arrest.
That's understood.
And this is a letter from Social Security. I understand you were at the Social Security building in Orlando. Was it last week?
I can't remember the
Okay.
date, but yeah, I was there.
All right, so this was written up after you were at that office. I'll go over briefly what it's about. They're writing to tell you that you cannot enter any Social Security field office, Orlando, or any Social Security office in the country. This restriction means that if you enter a Social Security office, you can be arrested or charged with trespassing.
Okay.
And this is the letter that you can read through.
Okay.
And here's a copy of our trespass warrant from DeLand. This is for this is the one you requested, I guess, from us for the DeLand Social Security office. That's our copy of it, or I'm sorry, your copy of our trespass warning.
Okay. All right. Now, can I ask some questions?
You can ask. It's not going to change anything.
But I'm not looking to change anything. But I mean, clarity is all I was seeking in the first place.
Right. And I believe I met with you and
you
tried
did,
to
and then I
explain
reached
that.
out to your supervisor, and it's like nobody wants to actually follow the law.
Yeah,
So here,
unfortunately, I can't.
okay, well maybe she can.
I can't.
Are you willing to listen?
For the supervisors.
Yeah, and everything
Are
that
you
Social
willing to
Security
listen?
on their end is written in that letter.
That's cool. Are you willing to listen?
About what?
Okay, the rules written on the wall at Social Security governing conduct on federal property.
We're not going to be going over all that.
You're not gonna
today.
be going
I'm
over
willing
the
to
rules.
listen
So we
to
don't.
anything
So
that you
the,
have to
the
say.
legislative
However,
branch makes the rules. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem with the rules, you take it up with them. This Congress.
Well,
Then
I was
we're-
following the rules, so
the judicial branch.
yeah, I
make sure
understand.
that-
I understand how
Okay,
government
so
works.
we'll go to court, and then you can
Okay.
explain your case there.
Yeah.
And then the judge will make his or her decision.
Okay.
Anything else you need from us?
Well, what do you think? You're not willing to hear my question, so why are you even asking me a question?
Okay. Well, have a good day. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a good day.
all right, thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
All right.
As we've seen with frauditors like Jean-Paul Reyes and Jose de Castro, their followers won't budge an inch from their faith in these two, even if it means thousands of dollars in donations. For example, Reyes spent something like $50,000, mostly donations, to fight a $93 ticket. It's unknown how much money and or goods de Castro has been gifted. Sovereign citizens are probably our best illustration of this topic. Their gurus have so indoctrinated them that very little, if anything, can divert them from their beliefs.
Well, Darrell Brooks claims he is a sovereign citizen, and today the judge ruled Brooks will not be able to use that as a defense because it does not have merit. Ben Jordan goes in depth on what a sovereign citizen is and why the defense has never worked in a criminal case in the state of Wisconsin.
A sovereign citizen is someone who believes they are not under the jurisdiction of the federal government and therefore thinks the laws don't apply to them. A local civil rights attorney says it's an illegitimate defense.
Mr. Brooks, you're interrupting me yet again.
You just weren't speaking.
All right.
Among Darrell Brooks's many outbursts at trial, he suggests being a sovereign citizen means he's immune to the rules of the court and the laws in Wisconsin. From a legal standpoint, what does this mean?
From a legal standpoint, it means nothing because it's not a defense at all.
Milwaukee civil rights attorney William Sultan says that's because the concept isn't recognized as a legal defense in any courtroom in the United States.
It's a theory that has been rejected for decades, and the court properly rejected it here.
William says the unusual defense has gained steam and become more common over the last decade. Have you ever seen someone try to use this sovereign citizen defense here in Wisconsin?
Yes, there was a case of some notoriety about 7-8 years ago with an individual who would put false liens on some judges in Milwaukee and Waukesha County. His case ended up being moved to Dane County, and he did pursue a sovereign citizenship defense.
How did it work out?
Not well. He was convicted.
Dr. Christine Sarteski is a professor at Chatham University who's closely monitoring the Brooks trial from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
A lot of people have never seen a sovereign citizen or have heard of the defense. I've been tracking them for a number of years now. I have I wrote a book on them. I have a website.
Dr. Sarteski says the sovereign citizen movement has been fueled with falsehoods on social media and the internet.
People always ask me, why would anyone try this when they never work? But the thing is I don't think the people who are trying them know it doesn't work. Or they might believe, hey, if I just use my strategy, This little difference here, it will work this time.
Not only does Dr. Sartesky say the defense is ineffective in the courtroom, she says so-called sovereign citizen extremism poses a threat to law enforcement.
You add in somebody who comes in with these, illegitimate ideas that have no basis in law, but they really believe them, so they then fight with the officer. And this has led to sovereigns being shot at traffic stops and including, officers being shot.
Dr. Sartesky says a sovereign citizen defense never works out in the end, but it can cause major delays in trial due to constant objections, similar to what we've already seen in Mr. Brooks' case. Reporting outside the Waukesha County Courthouse, Ben Jordan.
In my opinion, after watching these folks for about a year and a half now, I have come to the conclusion that it's all about ego. As I have repeatedly stated in previous videos, almost all of these individuals are narcissists to one degree or another. They just can't be wrong. I want to insert a major caveat at this point. Not all stubbornly held beliefs are detrimental. Try as they might, no one is going to convince me, for example, that God does not exist. On the flip side, I'm sure no one could convince J.L. Warren, shout out to Bridge the Divide, that God does exist. I'm pretty sure we're both healthy, happy, productive people after all. In conclusion, again according to psychology research and reference, the most successful way to reverse these beliefs is to get the person to imagine what it would look like if the opposite belief might be true. This debiasing technique is known as counter-explanation. I believe that is what contributed to Mark Stout's rejection of frauditing. Remember, ScrypKat says, a little introspection goes a long way. What if I'm wrong? What would that look like? Bye for now.